So the topic we'll be discussing today is about utilizing smartphones in classrooms and meetings, right? So this little article is actually quite interesting because it really goes into detail regarding statistics on the percentage of the population thinks that it's actually appropriate to send text or email in formal meetings, and then obviously people think that it's less important for them to do that in informal meetings. Mm-hmm. So obviously, like working for AT&T with you and I mean we do have our moments where we do have to attend some of those meetings, whether as a store, and our managers obviously kind of look down on us checking our smartphones and texting while we're doing that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just shows a sign of disrespect. I mean, if you're in a formal meeting, or if you're in an informal meeting, it doesn't matter whether it's formal or not. I mean, when someone's talking and I think they expect you to give them like your full 100% like attention to them when they're trying to talk about certain things. So when you are on your phone and you're preoccupied with some of those things and you miss certain like verbal cues within that interaction, I mean that also like applies to school too. Like right. When I'm in class and a professor is asking me certain question and I'm busy texting away on my phone, then when he asks me to like paraphrase something of what we just discussed, then I'm not going to be able to do that. Right?
You didn't hear anything that he said.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, do you have any like examples or?
I mean, it happens every day at work for us, right? So we're helping a customer get their new phone, and we're setting it up for them, or we're trying to explain something to them, and they pick up their phone and they're having a conversation on their phone. And to me, it drives me crazy because it shows a complete lack of respect to us, mm-hmm. And it shows that our time and our time is not important, and they feel like they have better things that they could be doing,
right?
Versus interacting with me as a person. And it kind of drives me crazy because, again, it's just a lack of respect,
right?
And they're so glued to their device that they can't step away from it for a second to interact, even as an informal situation as that is.
Right.
It's still, there's definite social ramifications to it. Mm-hmm. Can I say?
Yeah. So. Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, these customers are coming into our store. They're inquiring about our plans and services, and then when we do give them our undivided attention, then they kind of just have like this. They have like this audacity to think that they
own us.
They own us, right? They're better than
like
us.
They're better than us,
right? And I just don't get that, how they're wanting information from us, but they just can't even put aside like 5 minutes of their time to listen.
Yeah. And, I mean, even as somebody who's it talks about in a business sense, people who are in meetings can rely on these older people who look down on it a little bit more than the younger millennials, right, to use their smartphones in situations.
Right.
Like, as somebody who's conducted an interview for a job, if somebody pulls their phone out at a meeting, it shows me, A, they're clearly not interested in the position because they're thinking of other things during an interview in a formal setting like that, and B, if they're doing this to me during an interview, what other behaviors are they going to have on the job?
Right.
As far as like not listening to what I'm saying because they're texting.
I mean, where do we stop? Like, what's the certain extent where do you think that type of behavior is acceptable then in a professional work environment? I mean, it's just, where do we draw the line?
Yeah, well, because I mean, even in a meeting setting, like we're having a meeting at work,
right?
And there's definite situations where it's like we're discussing something, and where do you draw the line of I'm on my phone texting, or I'm on my phone pulling up this important email that we're discussing?
Right.
Because even just being on my phone pulling up the email that we're discussing can be misinterpreted.
Right.
But it can also be distracting to you pulling up the email. Like,
sure.
I'm focused on email pulling this up, and I'm not listening to the points you're making, but this is extremely important to the conversation that we're having.
Right.
So there's kind of a gray area there, and it's very easy to like jump into that gray area, even with the best intent.
Right. It's not like exactly like you can like communicate like, hey, I'm just actually just going into my phone and interrupt a meeting like, hey, I'm just trying to look for this email that we're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's 10 people there talking. And you're like, by the way, I'm just pulling up an email to reference. I'm not texting.
Right.
You know, it'd be super awkward. And as much as it'd be nice to say that, that's even more distracting to the meeting, right?
Right. Sweet. Let's see here. Yeah, the article also had like this point about it. You pulling out your phone during like a meeting shows like you have like the lack of power. Like you have the lack of resisting like your urges to do certain things.
It's like a Pavlovian response, right?
Right.
You hear the bell and your mouth salivates. You hear the ding of your phone and you automatically reach in your pocket and pull it out. Like you don't even have the willpower to resist that.
Right.
So it's like almost in our society today something that's just like
subconsciously
that we do. And they talk about that symptom of like the phantom vibration in your pocket. We're so used to like feeling our phone vibrate, and even right there for me, my phone rang.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to not go like, oh, what's going on, right?
Exactly.